No Man's Sky's Exobiology expedition has some amazing rewards, so I'm here with a full guide with every milestone covered to give you a super fast perfect run. Only telling you the things you need to know for efficiency, so you can still enjoy Expedition 5 but fit it into your precious spare time. This is a step-by-step speedrun guide crafted in such a way that you can watch and play along at the same time. First thing to do when you initialize is open network settings and turn PvP damage to no one, and if you wish, turn off multiplayer. The second thing is to call your pet. Yes, you start with a pet on this one. Find which direction your ship is and use your analysis visor to mark the most convenient indium deposit along the way. Give your little buddy a pat, jump on top of him and start making your way to the deposit. Remember, when using your pets as a mount you can use the sprint function as usual, and it's definitely needed with this one, he's rather slow. Once there, install your terrain manipulator, you have all of the plans required. Mine the indium deposit. You need a minimum of 76 indium from this deposit, which should easily come from any deposit even at max size mining sphere, but generally best to keep it at normal or smaller. You can always sell what you don't need. With your indium in hand, head towards your ship still riding your faithful steed. If on the way Paw Prints triggers, you no longer need to ride your companion, you can choose to melee boost your way around. If Paw Prints hasn't triggered by the time you reach your ship, use it to find the ferrite dust, carbon and dihydrogen you need to fix your ship, and just ride it until it procs. It's good to get the rewards from this before leaving. While you are refining 50 of the ferrite dust to get your pure ferrite, using your portable refiner, refine indium until you have 150 chromatic metal and condense carbon until you have at least 20. Craft a warp cell before you leave, just in case you are missing something, but only craft a single one. Next, open up photo mode and get a nice wide shot of your companion. If this isn't triggering best friend's portrait, you are likely using the wrong method of taking the photograph. Be sure to ensure your companion is fully in frame, and use the in-game buttons for taking your photos, such as left click for PC, Y for Xbox. On PlayStation, it appears you may have to use your share button. It's very weird. Now, fix your ship, take off and head into space. Head to the space station. While it is abandoned, there is still a galactic trade terminal. Sell the treasure items you got from Paw Print. You're going to be struggling for space throughout, so be sure to sell whenever possible. I'll also do my best to let you know when you don't need something later on that is rewarded from a milestone. Be sure to buy 5 microprocessors before you go. You can now install and fully build your hyperdrive. Do so and charge it with your warp cell. Open the galactic map and head to the system it auto tells you to go to en route to Rendezvous 1. You won't be able to make it to Rendezvous 1 with your current ship in a single jump. Once at what is likely the Istem system, head to the space station to get an exosuit slot. Be sure to buy either main or technology slots when paying with money and cargo slots when using an exosuit storage augment. This is a Korvax system, so pop to the mission giver. Best Friend's Portrait gives you Korvax standing as part of the reward, so you'll have immediate access to guild missions as Korvax space stations. So pick up at least the Explorers Guild mission. To keep things neat and easy to discern later, only picking up Explorers Guild missions is best, then you won't be trying to complete a mission later that won't advance expedition progress. Now you can fill up with a warp hypercore and warp to the Rendezvous 1 system. The 3 hypercores you received will be enough for the entire expedition, though you will see storm crystals later if you wish to make more. As normal, on arrival head to the station to get your exosuit slot. For the missions, this is a GEC system. You won't have immediate access to Explorers Guild missions. However, if you talk to a GEC there and learn a single word, you can then practice your GEC with all GEC on that station. Just whatever you do, don't say synthetic GEC as your response. They won't like it and you may lose standing, but the other available response will be fine and earn you standing or a reward. If you are given a GEC relic or something that you can give back to one of them, do so. With all GEC on the station, you should be able to get your GEC reputation up enough to see the guild missions from the mission giver, so grab the Explorers Guild mission before leaving. This time you can now call the anomaly, so be sure to pop in and get an extra slot from near the researchers. Also, if you have Twitch drops and other expedition rewards, this is a good chance to get a nice multi-tool or ship, and even the beetle to complete coleopterology early. Now select the Rendezvous 1 milestone to get a waypoint to the meetup point and head there. You can usually see comballs around the area, allowing you to find the meeting point without landing and scanning for it. Once you land and get out, you'll complete Homeworld. There isn't anything you need those planetary shells for, so either forget the 256 nanites for the moment and don't claim the reward, or sell/use them. Getting to the meetup point will also trigger Rendezvous 1. There are a number of things to do on this planet before leaving. There are 2 flying fauna to scan. There are also large groups of cow and stegosaurus looking fauna. You use some pellets to attract them into a large group. It shouldn't take long to get 10, triggering swarmed. Be sure to interact with them to get at least 5 fresh milk from the cow-like creatures and 5 creature eggs from the dinosaur-like creatures. Important note for the milk and eggs, be sure to not get rid of them until you have all variants. The milestone doesn't track amazingly and needs all of them on you at the same time to trigger. You should also pick up all of their dung until you've picked up 50, triggering digestive analysis. Once you have 10, you can now also go into photo mode and take a photo, with at least 10 of them fully in frame, completing terrestrial snaps. Note that they don't need to be alive to count for terrestrial snaps, if they are giving you grief. Lastly, before leaving the planet, call your Strider companion and induce an egg. Be sure to pick up the egg. Also, do not get rid of this companion. It starts with a higher trust level than normal. Getting rid of it for another will expand your time doing this expedition by 6 days. Now head to space, install your new S-Class hyperdrive upgrade and warp directly to Rendezvous 2. This one S-Class upgrade should be enough to be able to go directly to all required systems now, though getting a second certainly won't hurt if you see one. Once there, get your slot from the station. This one is Viking, so you'll need to do the same for getting Viking standing before you have access to guild missions, but once you have done this one, you won't have to worry about it again, and can just get the mission right away in all stations. While in the station, don't forget to use the exosuit, ship and multi-tool augments you got rewarded to free up space and increase it further. And of course get the slot from the anomaly and use the genetic sequencer by Kronos to change your companion egg in any way at all. Just a single piece of carbon in any slot is enough to complete mad science. Then select the Rendezvous 2 milestone and head over. On landing on this planet you will trigger a crowded universe, which is quite cool, as this will actually be the 13th milestone you complete if you didn't grab the beetle at the anomaly. Of course, then get to the rendezvous to trigger that. Then scan the 2 flying creatures on this world. One of them is only out in the day, so you may need to fly to a day area of the planet. This planet also has proto-get creatures, so be sure to milk them until you have at least 5 warm proto-milk. Then head over to the rainy planet in the system and search for ancient bones. Due to the space required, you may wish to either not claim the rewards of the recently triggered milestones until you reach the station in the next system, or head to the station here to increase your inventory with the augments again first. With 15 ancient bones unearthed, you'll trigger ancestors. You can now build a lore for deep space creatures, allowing you to complete recognisable life. This can be done at any time, but completing it early will save on warp cells as it rewards a second S-Class hyperdrive upgrade, which will turn your current 10 warps per tank into 15. Now warp directly to Rendezvous 3. Do the usual thing, get your slots from Station and Anomaly, get your Explorers Guild Mission 2, Cell, Upgrade, etc., then head to the rendezvous location after selecting the milestone. On this planet there are 4 flying fauna to scan, so get those. While on this planet there is also a fauna that looks like a deer. You can get wild milk from it, so feed it and get at least 5. There are also diplos here which give giant eggs, so be sure to get at least 5 of those too. You should now head over to the Forsaken planet. Land, get out, and you are good to head over to the Shell-strewn planet, where you'll want to find the single lifeform type on it and give it a scan. Make sure to complete it in the Discovery tab for an easy 250 nanites. Then warp to Rendezvous 4. Do your usual slot, mission and cell thing, go to the back room on the tech vendor side and get enough chromatic metal that you have at least 250. This station also has pyrite at other trade terminals, super useful to not have to worry about pulse fuel again. Also while in the anomaly, purchase the cadmium and emerald drive plans and construct the cadmium drive in your ship. Select the rendezvous milestone and head to location. After getting the milestone, scan the 2 flying fauna on this planet, which will complete ornithology. If you missed some before, just keep an eye out for more as you go. You don't need the phosphorus from that milestone for anything in the expedition, but you may for some tech or something. But do be sure to install the S-Class scanner module, you will need that. Also find 3 random creatures and adopt then dismiss them to trigger companionship. Install the underwater module and fly to an area of the planet with a large body of water. Head into the water and scan the 4 fauna types found there. Before moving on to the next system, pulse over to the pillared planet and scan the single lifeform there. We'll now be heading to a red system. We need to do this as the 5th rendezvous is a green system, and we need cadmium to build the emerald drive, but as efficiency's king we'll get the beetle on the way that Dark Lord Zelric found for us. So open the galactic map and find Rendezvous 5. Line it up so that Rendezvous 5 is directly in front of the galactic core. Panning to the left, find the first red system. It is called One-Hold, and is only 63 light years from R5, so you should see it near instantly. Head to that system. Pulse to the Dusty Planet. This planet has the beetles on it, which you'll need to visit even if you got it from the previous expedition. On landing, search for a cadmium deposit, and on the way to the deposit look out for beetles. When you find some, feed them and gather at least 5 craw milk, completing wild dairy. Then adopt one of them to complete Coleopterology. Don't take the wild dairy reward just yet, and I wouldn't bother with the Coleopterology rewards until you're done, as it's just more space being filled. Also, now you have a beetle, you may wish to spend any time you would be on foot travelling in the air on your beetle to complete the 4000 U distance requirement for wingspan. Gather at least 250 cadmium before leaving. If it's a small deposit, load the size of your terrain manipulator to ensure you gather the full amount, then install the emerald drive in your ship. Next, the closest system to One-Hold is a yellow system called Mylang 8. Do your usual slot mission and sell thing there, but also be sure to pop to the multi-tool tech vendor and pick up the S-Class scanner upgrade and install it. You should build the waveform recycler and put the scanner, recycler and 2 upgrades in a cube for adjacency goodness. If you get a 3rd upgrade, replace the scanner module in the cube with it and have the scanner touch the most powerful fauna valued 1. Pulse over to the radioactive planet and search for the Strider fauna that look similar to your starting pet, only they are quite small. Feed them and gather at least 5 tall eggs to complete best laid plans. You can now use a reward from that and wild dairy to make some delicious cakes, while simultaneously freeing up some inventory space. Build a nutrient processor. Now you can make a whole lot of different cakes. You can find all the recipes on xainesworld.com, which I'll link in the recipe page in the pinned comment. Note that all cakes have a max quality rating, so are equal in the eyes of Kronos. If you don't want to play about with cakes, process your warm proto milk to get proto cream, and do the same with the craw milk. Then process the proto cream to get proto butter. Then mix with processed sugar to get sweetened proto butter. And finally that with 1 larval core and refined flour to get a whaling batter. Mix the remaining 9 or more proto butter with any of your eggs and refined flour to get proto batter. Next, check how much refined flour you have left and process that amount of fresh or wild milk to get cream, then turn that into butter, mix it with the remaining processed sugar, then mix that sweetened butter with eggs and refined flour to make cake batter. Mix the synthetic honey with each of the batters to get a monstrous honey cake, 9 or more honeyed proto cakes, and get up to 5 glittering honey cakes. You should have 16 total cakes. You can refine the remaining larval cores for nanites. You also have no other required use for remaining eggs or milk you may have, so have fun cooking with them, use them, sell them, or even just give them to Kronos anyway. Baking the first cake will have also given you Sweet Tooth. Now head to space and warp to the final Rendezvous system. Do your usual space station thing for slots, missions and selling. Then while you're getting your slot at the anomaly, pop to Kronos and give him your cakes. To trigger a discerning palette. To trigger a discerning palette, you will need to get top marks, and having a max rated food item does not guarantee it, but 16 of them pretty much will. You'll likely get it in the first 3. Top marks will reward you with 129 nanites. A max rated food item gives an average of about 95. Once you've triggered the milestone, you can either continue to get nanites with the remaining items or eat them for fun. They actually sell quite well for units too. Select the final rendezvous milestone and head there. After visiting the final rendezvous, find and scan the lifeform on that planet. Then head to both the spore and metallic planets in that system and scan the lifeforms on those to complete Xenobiology. Now head to the deathly green anomaly world, land next to a large body of water and scan the 4 underwater creatures there. After that, head to the scorched planet. On entering the atmosphere, look out for a comball. Fly to one, and if the comball is in water or at the water's edge, land. If not, find another one. Most of these comballs are marking the horrors. If you can find one, land and head over to it. Approaching slowly, let its tractor beam get hold of you. Once it has, rapidly press the interact button to escape, completing what lurks below. If you can't find a comball, you can accept the Coleopterology rewards and use a Nautilin to scan for sunken buildings. You'll find these horrors surrounding them. Lastly, while on this planet, scan 2 of the 3 underwater fauna to complete marine biology. This will give you the 3rd S-Class scanning upgrade, so install that and scan all fauna you see until you get one worth 200,000 units or more, triggering valuable data. This is if you hadn't already triggered it. We're on the home stretch, only 4 more to go. Get back into space and warp to the Green Star system directly beneath the R5 system where you are now. This system has a cloudy planet. This is a swamp planet, so head over. Land and get out of your ship. This will trigger Sightseer. Now find a fauna to scan. Scanning one on this planet will complete Eyes in the Reeds. The penultimate milestone is to gain 16 Explorers Guild standing, which is 16 or less missions. I'm fairly sure some can give 2 standing. So just warp to new systems, ensuring they aren't uncharted or abandoned, and pick up more Explorers Guild missions. If all of the ones you picked up were passive ones like kill sentinels, creatures and such, then just complete them after obtaining a further 10 or so. If not, then collect 15. You want to get them all before completing them so you can do as many of them at once as possible. All creature call ones will complete at the same time, same with sentinel. Scan missions will also work this way, but you have to go to specific places. Scanning in the specific place will complete the same amount of required scan for the scans of that type. With photography missions it's the same deal. If you have multiple photograph a radioactive world, all will complete when you do one, but it's specific to subtype. Getting the 16 standing will complete Famous Explorer. There is only a single milestone left. This is Enduring Friendship. This requires you to get 100% trust with a companion. Your starter companion should have 95% trust. You'll have to wait 1 real life day to be able to raise it further. Trust can raise 5% per day. It can also lower, so be sure not to leave him hungry or unhappy. After 1 day, log back in and feed your pet to complete Enduring Friendship. And now you have completed the Exobiology expedition. Congrats! Enjoy your new rewards, and if you found this helpful, be sure to give Like Chan a tap. She loves it. These guides take a lot of time, so sharing it and such to get it in front of more eyes is super appreciated. Bunch of other ways to support below if you're interested. Have an amazing expedition, folks.